Hello, this is Dan with Arcade Funcade. Today we're going to show you the 55,000 games that are in our Ultracades and Megacades that we have. We wanted to show you, start out with a little bit of the original menu that you'll see when you open the machine or turn it on. And it's got several files here. Each file has many games inside of them. They have a particular order and they have a particular amount of files in them. So as you can see, there's a lot of different game systems. We'll start with Atari here. And you can see that there's every game for every system in here. Again, there's 55,000 games. This would probably take us several weeks to video each and every one of these machines. And it would actually take us several years to show every game to open them up individually. But yeah, there's tons and tons of games. There's every game you could ever imagine for each and every one of these systems. So Atari 2600, Atari 5200, and Atari 5800. They all have tons and tons of games, and they are just nonstop. They have so much stuff in them. We're going to try to make maybe a 30-minute, 45-minute video and maybe break it down into sections and kind of go across what all it has. But we can just kind of jump into them and kind of get an idea of what they look like. I'll jump into it, just random games, and you can just check it out. See what they look like, the opening. There's your asteroids. So you can actually start a game. So I'm going to jump back out of there. So you can see how fast and easy it is to jump in and out of these games. And again, this is just an Atari 7800. So this guy has every game for the Atari 7800. Now, I believe you were able to play this 5200 games on the 7800, which is kind of cool. And we got the Jaguar. So all the games on the Jaguar, same idea. There's a pitfall again, better graphics. Let me just go through and kind of show you guys all these different games. Again, if there's specific games you guys want to see, let me know. But yeah, to get a list of these games, we can actually break them up and send an email full with just the lists. But again, it's so many games. It would take a couple emails to figure it out. I'm trying to go as slow as possible. I can flick one at a time. To choose a game, you can also hold the joystick to your left or right, and it'll highlight a letter. So then you can just kind of jump over to the game you're looking for. So if you're looking for a game in the letter T, you can just go over and check it out. So just by holding the right or left stick, or holding the joystick to holding it going the right or left direction, you'll be able to highlight the letter right away, and you can jump to any game you like. So this is our Atari Lynx. So we're going to jump in there. You press enter, and it'll just jump you to the E's per se, the F's. So that's kind of cool. It just jumps in and out. Tons of stuff. So Wonder Swan. There's just so many little handhelds in there. The old Astrocade. This guy here, it's like another version of the Atari. Then Television, ColecoVision, and the games for this guy too. So that there's that as well. So there's a ton of stuff. I'll kind of get him going and stop him every which way. You've got to pause it to kind of look at the games. You can. So ColecoVision is crazy. Lots of fun times with ColecoVision. It's one of our favorite games growing up. Consoles, actually. A little bit of Spy Hunter. They're just games and games and games like crazy. So ColecoVision, we're going to jump out of this guy. Go into the Odyssey Magnavox 2. These are the old school games, man, from like the 1970, I think it's 1978, 82. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really sure. But there's so many different years that these guys came out. So Here's a like breakdown. Let's see. Let's jump into a game. Kind of give you an idea what it looks like. All the the monitor setup, the exterior, the bezel on the left and right kind of shows you a little bit of what the system looks like. Oh, here you go. We're going to start a game. And there's just some games that are just crazy. I'm going to jump out of this guy too. There's just so much stuff in this thing. So they have the Commodore 64, the Amiga CD32, the Computers Lynx, Apple II, Apple II GS, Game Pocket Computer, Cassette Vision, Future and Visual Pinball. So you'll also have Future and Visual Pinball Machines games on there. There'll be the Pinball Machine arcade games, Pinball FX, Pinball FX3, that's some of the newer stuff that came out. And you have the PC games, some PC FX games from back in the, what the heck was that? Would it be? I think it's the era, would that be? 1992, 1991. It's a 1994 version there. 1996. So I guess 1994, 96. So again, there's just tons and tons of games in these guys. These are all Japanese games. Can't even read them. But we'll jump out. PC Engine, one of our favorites. TurboGrafx 16s. Another one of our favorites, I should say. Not one of. Another one. The CD-ROM, the PC Engine CD-ROM system. Same idea. Tons of games. A lot of them are Japanese games. You can read them. You play them. They don't really talk to you. They just make noises, which is cool. But there's a lot of games that are out there that are very, very rare, and they're all in here, which is pretty awesome. It's a giant list of every game. So it's a giant library of each system. So the CD-ROM 2 PC Engine system is all backed up here to this library. So these are literally libraries of video games. I mean, Super Graphics has every game ever made for it as well. I mean, every one of these systems has everything. So if you're looking for a specific console, you can just look up the actual console. Google it, and you can see a massive list for each one of them. We'll jump into TurboGrafx 16. Air Zonk. It's a very, very rare game. Alien Crush. Bloody Wolf. Very cool game. Highly sought after. Bonk's Revenge. Show you guys some of these games. This is a very cool, very overlooked system that people forget about because it was only out for a couple of years and just got dropped. Ninja Spirit, another good game. Yeah, so there's tons of games for this thing. And there was many, many, many more, and they're all scattered out throughout the other TurboGrafx 16 and CD and Super Graphics. So all these guys are, all the games are all spread out because every system had its specific games, but they're all in one place. So that's really cool. Yeah, the Nintendo Game & Watch system as well. If you guys remember this guy, Game & Watch. I remember the what's it? Mario's Cement Factory. I think that's going to be in here. Let's see if it's in here. I think we passed it out. Oh, Mario Brothers. There you go. Oh, we'll jump into it. There you go. The Game & Watch. So there was so many different little game systems that people looked for, and they always had a hard time figuring out which system they would want to buy. And these are all like old school watches, and they just had so many different little quirks to them. We're gonna jump in and out of these guys. Let's see. Jump bombs, monkey jump. Check that out. If you go into the other ones. Parachute. And you could play these games. You just have to have a specific remote that I do not have hooked up right now. It's a keyboard system I have right now. But yeah, so there's a ton of games on the Game & Watch. We're gonna go back to over to the Game Boy. So Game Boy, same idea. Tons and tons of games for the Game Boy. Very popular system. The Amazing Tater. Let's show this game. I think this game right now is selling on eBay for about 8,000, 10,000 bucks alone. So that's crazy. Let's see this guy. You'll see the screen of this guy. We gotta move it over. So this is a new system. We haven't really programmed it completely, but that Game Boy there, that screen is off by a little bit, but it's still playable. I think we're very good at this game. Yeah, definitely not very good at this game. Yeah, jump out of this one. But yeah, it's hard to play with the on a keyboard. Our control systems and joysticks are a lot easier to play with, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, this thing has tons and tons and tons of games. Um, it's got Tetris. It's got the original Batman. Look at that. You could also just scale through this thing and look for specific games. James Bond is in there. Jeopardy. A lot of the Jeopardies actually. Look at that. Jordan vs. Bird. Jurassic Parks. I mean, all the good stuff. Killer Instinct is on there. King of Fighters. There's just tons and tons of games. Last Action Hero. So we're just gonna jump into any random game. And again, we're gonna move that screen over. In fact, I think we might eliminate the screen of the Game Boy screen and bring it into the center, and then just open it up to make it larger, so the screen isn't small like the original Game Boy. But so it's kind of cool, man. There's so many little games, so many systems in this thing. So I'm gonna go back. It's a Super Game Boy. So there's tons. All this is the Game Boy on steroids that you were able to plug into the top of your Super Nintendo cartridge here, and you could play all the games in color. You have your Game Boy Color as well. So these guys too. I wonder if these guys are. The screen is moved on this guy. We haven't adjusted it yet. Let's see. Yep, same idea. So I guess all the Game Boys got to get adjusted. But same idea. Has tons and tons of games. Every Game Boy Color game ever made is all in here as well. You can see this. The list is just massive. We're still in the E's, F's, G's, H. There's just so much stuff too. Mario Kart. So that's really cool that they have. This was actually the color system. So we'll jump into this guy. Men in Black. Let's see this guy. Again, random games. Well, I'm trying to power through and press start. But with the Game Boy Color, you actually got to choose. There you go. Got to choose your agent. There you go. I found my jump button. Oh, definitely not. Oh. Definitely miscalculated with that. Oh, there goes that. So it's a little bit of gameplay. So we're going to go back. There's lots to cover. Game Boy Advance. We also have Game Boy Advance games. These were a little bit more advanced. Obviously, Game Boy Advance. Sorry, man. No pun intended with that guy. They have there's just so much stuff in this guy. So many games. But the colors on these guys were so different. It's like Marble Madness. Let's jump into Paperboy here. Kind of give you an idea of what kind of what these guys look like. So same idea, big screen. This is how the Game Boy should have looked, like with an open screen here. And when you light it up, you're able to see the full screen. So you can choose from Paperboy or Rampage there. Press the B button. We're going to start out here. Press start. All right. And again, you can find Paperboy on the MAME system. Any system that it would play on, you could actually play this guy with. So it's kind of cool. Oh, I already crashed. My God. Trying to figure out which button is the throw button. So it's up or down? It's got to be up or down. So figuring out the game is another thing. With a keyboard, again, we're just working with the keyboard itself. Oh, there you go. It's the D button that throws the. Oh, we need those newspapers there. All right, we're gonna jump out of this guy and keep on going. We'll jump out of Game Boy Advance and keep moving. Pokemon Mini. So these guys too, the little Tamagotchi looking things, they're in there. The DS, that's in there as well. Now with the DS, this thing plays a little bit different than most other games because it had a secondary screen. So what's cool about this guy is that you're able to use or play the game with a controller, and you're able to use your, because of the trackball on our Megacades and Ultracades, you're able to then use this lower stencil is being controlled with the mouse pad. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. We're gonna get into let's say like this guy here. I'm gonna go into the Mega Man Zero collection. All right. So I'm able to press the regular start button. Good game. So this is the E button. So I'm able to use the actual keyboard to play this game system. So that's really cool. So you will be able to use the joysticks and buttons to run this game, and then and you can see here on the screen. I kind of put it here in this little corner here. You see on the screen that we're able to then move it around, and then use that and your left click button on the controller to make any kind of changes or movements on this screen. So that's pretty neat that we actually still have the ability to use this lower screen rather than have it obsolete and be limited to the gameplay on it. So that's pretty neat to have that. Again, a lot of these games, these role-playing games, just took forever to load up. If you have the patience, it's one of those deals. And this screen as well, you can also zoom in on the screen. So what we do is we put this machine on this game system on a 32, 42, or 50-inch screen, whatever you guys want to put it on. And you can put it on a wall-mounted screen or whatever you like. And the idea behind it is that you can also, it'll be on a bigger TV. So then you'll be able to use this guy and you can zoom in on just this. So if you have your TV has a feature of zoom, you can just go on there and go to the aspect ratio and zoom in, and you'll be able to see a larger screen. It's a dual screen system, it's like playing the DS, but on the TV, obviously. So the idea behind this is to be able to zoom in and see as much screen as possible, so you can get the full effect of it. So that's kind of neat. So. These RPG games take forever. Let's jump out of this guy and just keep on going. Let's see, New Super Mario Brothers. Let's see this guy. This thing will probably take forever to load up as well, but you never know. There it is. Okay, there you go. Now I'm able to see the little stencil thing. I can choose Mario game or mini game down here. You see that? So I chose the mini games. You do a versus battle and or create group. Oh, well, we don't have another system, so we can't create a group. We're gonna have to go back. Yeah, I had to jump back into it. I pressed the button I wasn't supposed to. I pressed escape. So there you go, Mario game. I wonder if you could hover over these now. And there you go. Again, you could click on these guys to choose your world. Once you start opening up worlds, then you could choose your worlds. This guy here, we're going to move him over. And we're going to jump into the first world. Oh, crap. So anyway, there's that. We're going to try it again. Now that it's loaded up, we waited this long. Let's see. Oh my god, dude. Okay, well there's that. I've located the E button. That's going to be the one. So let's try one more time. We can just leave like that. So we'll get a couple jumps in through that thing. Gotta time that right. There you go. Now, mind you, I'm playing just on a regular keyboard, standing up in front of this camera, so it's kind of should be used to this by now. But you know how that works. Sometimes things are a little bit crazy. Ah, see what happens? Nice. So crazy. Some of these games are just amazing. Look at this. So all right, I'm gonna jump out of this game now that we're doing semi-okay. I didn't press the run button. Darn it. Jump out, and we'll jump out again. Kind of keep going. Nintendo Entertainment System, another one that we have here. Everyone knows this guy. Same idea with this guy. Just every game ever made for the Nintendo system. And I'll try to go. So each screen here shows about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12 games. So what I'll do is I'll kind of run through them a little bit so you guys can see what kind of games are on there. Again, if you're looking for specific games, we can send you an actual list of the actual systems. Just send us an email or whatever, and we'll send you an actual list of the entire Nintendo catalog. And you should be able to have it on here. Well, there you go. We'll jump into one of these guys. Jump into elevator action. I just got killed. All right, so we're gonna jump out of that and keep on going. I think we just passed up Excite Bike. Check that out. So this guy literally has every arcade or every game for this system built into itself. G.I. Joe's in there, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghostbusters. I mean, every system can be played with the controllers and joysticks. So that's really neat. So these old school systems, though, anything that has like a newer system or controller, that like the Nintendo 64 and games like that, they would require the Xbox 360 remote to be able to be used to play them, and that's because they are I think they're analog systems, so they're just a little bit different than these guys, or digital systems. So I think there's 900 or 1,200 Nintendo games. And in total, I think there was like 1,700 games. There's 1,700 games on this system itself. There's just tons and tons and tons of games. It just does not, just doesn't end, which is awesome. It's one of those deals. When would we have gotten every one of these games when we were kids? That is just wild. All right, so I think we just lapped it. Sure did, yep. All right, so we're gonna jump back onto this guy. Going to the hack. So this guy has a lot of hacked games, the Nintendo hack games. Nintendo Entertainment System, but it has like lots of little games on there that are like hacked out, that are custom made. People made all kinds of fun stuff that's like homebrew kind of systems. That's pretty neat. Dimension of Hodok, Arkanoid. So they did a mix-up of certain games at times in these guys. So there's a lot of little games and stuff in there. Let's jump back out. We'll go to Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, same idea. There's just tons and tons of stuff here. Every game, every system for every system. So, or I'm sorry, every game for this system. Now the Ren and Stimpy. Look at that. That's a cool game. Cool show. I like the show. Some Spider-Man and X-Men games. There's all the Super Mario World stuff. Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, the All-Stars, regular All-Stars, Super James Pond, Super Mario Yoshi's Land. It's another one, another big game. So I'm gonna jump out of this guy and keep moving. The consoles. So you have Super Nintendo CD. So this system, my gosh, this has to be one of the craziest, hardest to find systems. It didn't even last long. Very, very high resolution quality graphics. This is a CD version. This is the baby. Sony, PlayStation, and Nintendo had a baby and made this thing. So that is freaking awesome. It's a CD system from back in the old day. Very, very rare. Extremely rare. And we have it. It's all on here. So that's really awesome. So it has the Legend of Zelda games. If people are looking for the Legend of Zelda systems that are... so you have the first map and the second map here. And same here. They have every system and every tablet for every game. So some of these games require 3 or 4 discs, and you're able to then... It asks you to put in the third disc, fourth disc, and all you do is just jump out and jump into the next disc. So yeah, there's just tons of stuff in here. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Played just like the arcade on the console, so that was really awesome. Super Mario World. Super clear graphics as well on this guy. Super cool. So anyway, yeah. So it has a lot of games on there. I'm noticing it's not every game, but it has a lot of games that are the ones people are looking for. I think they only made a handful of them. They must have not been out for a long time. So Virtual Boy, same idea. If you like seeing red, this is a system for you. This is one of the first VR systems that came out back in 92, 93, 94, something like that. Well, let's show 95 there, so 1995. Yeah, Space Invaders in red. Check that out. It's all 3D'd out, laid out. So, very cool system. Wasn't around long. It just became one of those games. So Nintendo 64, people are always looking for this stuff. South Park, highly sought after game still. I mean, people, fun game. I still play this. It's freaking awesome. My God. Space Invaders on this guy. Look at that. The difference in graphics. Crazy. Star Fox. This game took the world by storm at one time. I think it was in 95. 97. So yeah, there's just so many games. And I did realize I did find out that this system requires the Xbox 360 to be played, Xbox 360 remote to be used to play these games, because they require a digital. Oh, you can see the little 360 remote there. Kind of shows you what it is. Some of these guys are freaking awesome, man. I'll jump into a Banjo and Koozie game. So I did jump into a game called Bonkers, or yeah, was it Conker's Bad for a Day? And what we ended up doing is finding out that we needed to use the C buttons, those little yellow buttons on the Nintendo 64 controller, and we mapped them to our Xbox 360 remote, and we were completely successful to do that. So that was really neat. Anybody can map them if they get messed up. You could always remap them. So, but yeah. I'm going to try using the controller here. Yeah, you can't press start or anything. I actually do need an Xbox 360 remote controller. So, I'll play for a bit. Alright, I keep moving on with the game list. So this thing has, again, so much stuff. A lot of good games. There it is. Oh, dude, there's Conker's Bad for a Day. That system right there, that game right there was nuts. I mean, it's got to be way ahead of its time. I think it was pulled off the shelves because of how bad it was. There was a lot of bad things happening in that thing. It was a rated, pretty much it would be rated R for games. That would not be rated E for everyone. That'd be a whole different rating. But yeah, that's there's so many systems that just should not, so many games that should not have probably been on the store shelves. I don't think it's turning on, that one. Let's see. So, sometimes when games don't start out the first time, you could jump out and try it again. Sometimes you have to do a system reset because we're jumping in and out, in and out, in and out of games. There's some games just don't like it, or sometimes they just don't show up. It's just one of those things. Let's see this guy. Try one right next to it. Let's see if that was the problem. Yeah. I think that game system's just broken. You can see some of the games. I think it's like 20 or 15 games per system is usually on there, but it has little glitches here and there. There you go. Again, I can't press start because I have no controller here. So I'll just jump out. I'm going to jump out of the Nintendo 64 stuff, or 64 direct drive or disk drive system. Same idea. It's a Japanese, so you can see that from Japan, obviously. You can see the cards are a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. And these guys are just Japanese games. You could test them out without even having to go to Japan and buy these systems, or buy the games. They're all right there. It's freaking crazy. You could also use a Google Translator over the screen with your phone, so you can actually see what these games are saying. So that's kind of neat to kind of decipher what's going on in there. But you had some really interesting games in this system. And there's not a lot of games in here, I noticed, but there are a few, which is kind of neat. It'll give you a little bit of something to at least play around with and look at. But yeah, those were released only in Japan. This is also the Nintendo version of Japanese Nintendo version. It was called the Family Computer. Same idea. You jump in and you can see all the games that they had. Their controllers were red. We have Akira. Look at that. So yeah, there's just a ton of games in this one too, I guess. So it's crazy. We've been working with the system for years and trying to perfect it, make sure everything works. And again, there are going to be some little quirks here and there of things that are working and not working. But again, if you don't find the game on one system, you could always go to another that was made in the same era. And you like, let's say like Super Nintendo, you could go to Sega Genesis, or PlayStation One. They were about the same era. It was Super Nintendo and PlayStation One actually came around at the same time. So when you find games on one and the other, let's say one doesn't work, you just go to the other system. You can find it and play it there. So yeah, this one has quite a bit of games. Probably has good, like, maybe, let's see, in the D's, E's, maybe 150 to 200 games in this one, in this system. Yeah, it's gonna be like 200, maybe 300 actually. It's quite a bit. All right, we'll jump out of this guy. Keep going. Family computer. So, oh, that's the same idea with a disk drive. So maybe this one has more games. Let's see, Armana. So let's see if we run across that quick. Keep going. No, it actually has quite a bit more games, actually. Well, let's see. Nah, it's about the same or less. Yep, we already lapped it. But there's quite a bit of games on there. SATA so it's kind of neat because there's some systems on there that it has, again, that didn't really come out, that it does have on there that shouldn't even be on there, but we have them, I guess, as a little bonus. So that's kind of neat. This system here, I remember hearing about this. This is a Japanese Super Nintendo, and that from the 90s. It shows it in the bottom left corner. Totally cheated. And what happened with this system, as you can see, you never really seen Peach, or what's his name, little Toadstool man, on a bike back in the day, or Mario, who's always a little a racer guy. And the graphics on this thing were crazy. What was neat about this system is you could actually play against other people in Japan. They had a subscription or something. I think it was like 40, 50 bucks a month back in the 90s. So that was pretty neat. Look at that. It's just cool, man. Mario Paint. Just a ton of games in this guy, too. All right, I'm going to jump back. Go to Nintendo Super Famicom. So this is the Super Nintendo version of that Nintendo. Is that right? It's not right. The Satellite View was the one you paid a subscription with, and this is the same thing without the subscription. The other one had a box underneath it. You can see it on the image there. Yep, Satellite View. So just a little mini computer connected to. Sufami Turbo. This is, I believe, another version of a Nintendo systems that were part of that Satellite View, but I'm not really sure. These guys were so different, ahead of their time, and crazy. So if you just want to kind of look through these guys, the graphics were kind of cool. The 3D graphics and the different effects were neat. The designs, everything was really interesting to see this. Different styles of games that they have. I'll jump out of this guy. Nintendo GameCube. Coming back to the good old Americana. We have this guy showing up tons of games on this guy too. I mean, I'm gonna speed through this thing, but I want to show you guys the Nintendo stuff. I guess there's a lot of little Nintendo games on here that are really good. People are looking for. Super Smash Bros. Being one of them. It's a huge game. Zelda 4 Swords, Kirby Air Ride. It's a big game. So yeah, there's a lot of fun games in this guy. There's not a ton of games for the GameCube. We do have an expanded pack that has every system for this GameCube. I guess these games were really, really large. This is a 2 terabyte drive on these systems. So they have a lot of information, but they couldn't catch too many of these bigger games. That's probably why there was less games on other Nintendos, on the Satellite View and those other guys, because they require so much space. Same idea with the Wii. They require so much space. So there's only a handful of games that were picked. As you can see, there's about maybe 8. We'll count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it's like 11, 12 games. So several games in there. So very cool system. Lots of games, but lots of good games. Not many games, but lots of good ones that were in there. Yeah, the Wii. The Wii has a couple more games. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 games. All right, 14 games for the Wii U. But it has all the ones that really mattered. All the Mario Brothers stuff, man. Everybody's looking for the Mario, the Zelda, Mario Kart 8. That's in there, so that's pretty cool. I think the Mario Kart is working fully functional now, I believe, with the new updates. Now, Triforce. Let's go to Triforce. This system is the Mario Kart. So if you're looking to play Mario Kart, the original Mario Kart, the arcade Mario Kart, it's on here. So we're going to jump into that guy really quick so you guys could get a load of that. And you saw that there was a GameCube on the screen there. That GameCube is literally, the arcade, the actual Mario Kart GP system actually has a full-blown GameCube system inside it. And that GameCube system is it's just a glorified, heavier duty GameCube inside that guy. So it's just a GameCube on steroids is what somebody mentioned. Mario. And what we do with this guy is we expand the screen. So we're going to go over to the edge. We'll do a full screen setup on Mario here. We'll do that when we program the system to get finished up for our customer. So yeah, so some people have been sending in their computers so we can repair it with systems like this, and it just makes it so much easier now to just remove a computer, ship it back, and we get it fixed up and sent back instead of shipping back the entire arcade. Now you can just safely remove your PC and bring it and just ship it back. That's if any problems arise. Some people drop their machines, they move them, knock them over, put them in storage, leave them outside, they get rained on. It's been crazy. I had to let go of the gas. So there's the B button. So you can literally drive this with the joysticks and your buttons, your top 3 buttons on your control panel. They'll be the ABC buttons. You can quite literally just use your joystick to drive Mario Kart. No need for a steering wheel. You can just use a joystick, or you could use the Xbox 360 remote as well. So that's really cool. So I'm gonna jump out of this guy. You also have in this list is Mario Kart 2. I'm gonna jump back out. Go to Sega 32X system. So the Sega Genesis and the 32X are the same thing. It's just a system that would go on top. You'd buy a separate cartridge that was instead of being a 16-bit system, it was a 32-bit system, and you were able to install, I guess, the cartridge on top of the 32X module that would go mounted on top of the on top of the Sega Genesis. My God, there's so many games. I'm freaking out over here. But yeah, there's so much stuff. So yeah, Doom, there you go. Doom is in there as one of our favorite games growing up. Mortal Kombat 2, NBA Jam, and all this stuff was in there. T-Mech, Virtual Fighter, Virtual Racing. Still have nightmares about getting beat by my older brother. Let's see. Tons and tons of good games. We already lapped it, but these 32X, they were very, very rare, and they didn't make many of them. The Sega CD system, this one they did. We're starting the S's already. So we're going to see if we get to the A's quick. Oh, I already did. Look at that. So a lot of these systems, they didn't really last long, so they didn't make many games for them. And the ones they did have actually proven to be highly collectible. So it's kind of cool to know that you have the game. Look at these guys. Lethal Enforcers and Lethal Enforcers 2. I'm actually working on those currently on the original stand-ups. So these guys are higher resolution game systems. And these things they almost look real. As close as they could get. So very cool. Mortal Kombat looked a little different. NBA Jam kind of looks the same. Let's go back to that Mortal Kombat. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's pretty realistic. that game's pretty cool. All right, we'll jump down. Dreamcast. Oh, man, another system, non-forgotten, but definitely short-lived. Great system. Lots of games in this system. These games weren't that. I mean, they were pretty big, but I guess they weren't that big. There's a lot more games in this system, in this file here for it. Let's see. Yes, quite a bit. The D's. Yes. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's a very, very, very rare game. Hard to find game. Alrighty. Power Stone. It's another one. Highly sought after system. Or game. Resident Evil. Code Veronica. It's another one people are always looking for. There's just a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of games. There's got to be like maybe 120, 100, maybe 200 games on this guy for Dreamcast. Game Gear, another system, little handheld. There's a ton of stuff on this guy as well. There you go. There's an Ace. There's just so many games in this guy. And these are just the handheld systems, you know. So there's consoles, there's handheld systems, and there's all kinds of stuff in this guy. We'll jump back out. This is the Sega Genesis system. And it has, you know, the Hyperspin system is really nice. That it has the big wheel that you can choose the consoles. Then you can jump in, and it has another wheel so they can choose a game. I love that idea. It looks really nice. Our old menus looked really bad, and they were just black and white, and you can really tell. I love this the visuals of this, of the graphics coming, artwork coming in, video starting up. I mean, look at that. It just looks so beautiful. It's just such a nice finish on that. A lot of people don't really mention that, but there's the visuals on this are amazing. The compilations, the artwork that was, you know, had to be brought together. Someone had to take a picture of every one of those cartridges, and it's just crazy. My gosh, so many little details. So again, Sega Master System. We'll go on to that guy as well. There's tons and tons of games for all these systems. Let's see what these guys had. Incredible Hulk, nice. Micro Machines. Huh. So this system, Sega Master System, came out right before the Sega Genesis. So, very cool games. And I'm going to jump back out. So this is a more of a arcade emulator system. These are the games that would be most likely in the MAME system that we're going to be showing you next here. And it's just a lot of games in this guy as well. So much stuff going on in this guy. We might have to break this up into two videos because of how long these videos actually are.